Mrs. Graves with a lesson on how to start your paper off with an entertaining beginning. Typical beginnings of papers are things like one sunny day, or one rainy afternoon, or hi, my name is. These beginnings are not very interesting. They don't serve their purpose. So what is the purpose of a beginning? A story's beginning should introduce the characters, the setting, and the purpose of the action, but most importantly, the beginning should capture the reader's interest. You want somebody to read your first sentence, your first paragraph, and be interested and want to read more. So how do you begin if those other answers are wrong? The story should begin as close to the main event as possible. For example, if the story takes place at the beach, don't begin the story at home waking up, begin at the beach. There are 4 types of beginnings we're going to talk about. The first one is action, the second is dialogue, the third is thought or question, and the fourth is sound. These are the 4 vocabulary words that you need to add to your dictionary along with their definitions as you're going through these notes. So the first one is action. If you're going to use an action beginning, you want to put the main character in the setting doing something interesting and relevant. Relevant means that it matters to your story. So you ask, in this story, what would you do? What would the character be doing? So for example, you could start off saying, I walked along the shady forest path on a magical afternoon. You're telling us that the character is walking, they're doing something. The next type is dialogue. Dialogue is talking between 2 characters. So you could have the main character say something that expresses a feeling, creates worry, or raises the reader's interest or curiosity. It could be an exclamation. So you're going to ask yourself, what would you say or exclaim? For example, your character could start off the story by saying, what a magical day for a walk in the woods, I said. The next type of beginning is a thought or question. You're going to show what the main character is thinking or worrying about. So you're going to ask yourself, what would you be thinking, wondering, or worrying? For example, today seemed sort of magical, I thought, as I looked out into the forest. The final type of beginning is a sound. This is a story-relevant sound effect or a description of a sound that's a great attention-getting technique. So you're going to ask yourself, what would you hear in this situation? For example, the crunch of the leaves under my feet filled the air as I walked along the shady forest path. Now notice in all of these beginnings, it's the same story, it's the same situation. We're just starting in different ways. Any story can start any way you want it to, so just play around and see what works best for you. And this lesson comes from the Empowering Writers Narrative Writing Curriculum. As always, if you have any questions, please ask me.